to once again be part of a spectacular show. In particular, with the Salido Vargas fight, which I think, and I'm sure that everyone who saw the fight would feel the same way, that tonight we witnessed Fight of the Year. No doubt about it. And for Golden Boy, it's been many years now. I believe 3 or 4 years where we've had Fight of the Year, and that's what we are all about. And I congratulate Vargas, I congratulate Salido, and everyone who fought on the card. I mean, they really gave a spectacular show to more than 7,000 people we had here at the StubHub Center, where I believe it's one of the best arenas in the country to watch a fight. I also want to just before the fighters come up here, I know several media members have asked me personally to talk about how I feel on the passing of the great Muhammad Ali. I learned from it. I learned from the news. I was on a plane, and I learned from it, and I was devastated, just like the rest of the world. We lost a great human being. We also lost a great fighter, and what Muhammad Ali stood for. Most importantly, what courage he had, not only inside the ring but outside the ring, for what he stood for. He not only was one of the greatest boxers of all time, but he also had a tremendous chin, and he knocked you out. Not only did he box your ears off, but he knocked you out. And so, my condolences to the Ali family, and and may he rest in peace. And I'm going to be standing proudly, saying that I've met and know Muhammad Ali on Friday when they have his services in Louisville, Kentucky. So. Just wanted to express myself about Ali, and may he rest in peace. So thank you very much, and have a good night. Eric.
Thank you, Oscar. So we have Abraham Lopez here. I'll bring him up. I just want to say, what a great night! What a great night we had. Today, obviously we do a lot of boxing cards throughout the year, but today was a special night. I want to thank all of you for being here. And we had a very good fight in the opening fight. It was a very close fight with Julian Ramirez, and Abraham Lopez pulled it off. It was a tough fight. 2 undefeated fighters, young, just entering their prime. And that's the kind of fights you put on HBO. And they both knew what was at stake, and they fought their heart out. So I want to bring them up to say a few words, and you guys can ask them questions. Abraham.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank God. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have won. It was a tough fight. Julian was well prepared. Kind of surprised me. But I started trying to box him, and I think I was landing better shots and got the W at the end. Thank you.
Questions?
Abraham,
Yes.
were you shocked by the decision, by the scores, or during the fight, did you think you were winning the fight, or?
I think it was a closer fight, but I thought I won at the end because I was landing the cleaner shots from the outside. Inside we were exchanging, and I was landing the better shots on the outside, and I think that's what the judges were watching.
Did anything he do surprise you at all?
His aggressiveness, I thought I was going to settle him down with some punches, but he kept coming forward, and I expected that. Obviously he wanted to win as well.
Next.
Where do you see yourself now at this point in your career, and what do you plan on going to now?
Oh man, whatever Golden Boy has for me, take some time off, try to recover, and then get back to the training. And whatever happens, I'm ready for whatever they tell me.
Anybody else? Additional questions? Good?
I got one.
You have one more?
At the workout, you said that you treat every fight like it's your last. Could you talk a little bit more about that? I mean, the motivation or the pressure that you sort of put yourself under?
To me, every fight it's my last. I was out of the ring for 3 years, and then Golden Boy gave me the opportunity. So, giving a fighter, that's 27, almost 28 years old, opportunity. Some people might think that's a little too old already, but I train hard, and I work hard to be where I'm at. So I'm gonna continue to work harder, and I gotta go back to the drawing board and work harder.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Abraham. Are you willing to give Julian a rematch, or do you want to just move on to bigger names?
I'll give him a rematch. If that's what the promotional company wants to do, I'll give him a rematch. It was a tough fight. It was I felt it was close to a closer fight, but I think I landed the better shots from outside, which kind of gave me 2 or 3 more rounds at an advantage. But if he wants a rematch, I'll give him the rematch.
What did you think of the main event?
Oh man, being in the locker room and watching it, it was one hell of a fight. But I had Vargas winning, by 2 points. He was using the outside better, and so the judges see differently, I guess.
Anybody else? Additional questions?
Anybody know? Okay. All right, guys, thank you guys. Abraham's gonna go get some food.
Thank
He's
you,
gonna
guys.
celebrate a little bit, so
Yeah.
he deserves it.
Thank you, guys.
So one more round of applause for Abraham. You did a great job, and we'll go back to the drawing board and see what's next. So thank you. Thank you very much. We're just waiting for the main event fighters to come. We're gonna go check on it now, so we'll see what they're doing. I know Vargas is getting stitched up, and Salido's, I think he's doing his doping test, so we'll wait for them, and they should be here.
Times in a row now. Oh, sorry, you want to say something?
Sorry guys.
Hey, one sec. But no, I'd just like to say, I don't know what this guy has to do. I mean, at his age, leaving it all on the line in the ring, and leaving it in the hands of judges again. The Rocky Martinez is almost embarrassing. That was a 9-3, got a draw. This fight, at times Orlando dominated. Vargas had his moments. It was about even going into the 10th. He swept the last 2. Unfortunately, not on 2 guys that were sitting ringside with the judges' scorecards. And it's disheartening that a guy does what he does. So I just feel bad. I feel horrible. I feel like I didn't do my job. I don't know what I can do different with judges. It just, it's really heartbreaking to see this moment for a great warrior like this to put it all on there and didn't, not get the decision again. So I'll leave up to Orlando Salido, and you guys can ask him anything you want to hear.
Bueno, pienso que hice una gran pelea. Fue una pelea complicada como se esperaba contra Vargas, una pelea de guerreros, de mexicanos.
I think it was a great fight. As everyone expected, 2 great Mexican warriors going at it.
Querer ver espectáculo y se lo brindamos. No podemos quedarle mal, más en este escenario donde se han dado grandes batallas de mexicanos.
It was a very entertaining fight. Everyone enjoyed it. This is a great venue. You're going to see great fights. And I think we just started another chapter to this great venue.
Y respecto a la pelea, pues fue una pelea dura, apretada, pero yo pienso que la gané por un poco margen, porque fue una pelea de muchos golpes, pero yo pienso que me dio la victoria.
You know, I think that as far as the fight went, I thought it was a very close fight. It was complicated like we expected. It was a tough fight, but I think I did enough to win that fight.
Pues espero que me consideren para que todos me están retirando. Ya vieron que veo Orlando Salido para rato. Quiero seguir peleando y qué más con los mejores.
You know, I hope everyone looks at me and doesn't think I'm finished. I think I just proved tonight that I'm far from done, and I'm going to show everyone what a good fighter I still am for a long time. Thank you.
Okay, questions, preguntas.
Fernando, ¿cómo se siente tener otro empate, ya que mencionaron que la pelea con Martínez y ahora esta pelea?
Pues decepcionado, hicimos un gran trabajo. No te digo que la pelea fue complicada, pero yo pienso que la gané con un poco margen, porque fue una pelea cerrada.
You know, it's disappointing, of course, when you feel like you won the fight. Yeah, you did enough. There's a lot of punches out there thrown, but I felt that I won, and it's disappointing to get a draw again.
Rolando, mencionaste en tus palabras sobre el retiro. ¿Es la prensa, tus promotores quienes te estaban retirando o era algo que tú lo habías pensado ya como retiro, como tu última pelea?
Pues la gente, redes sociales, como han mirado muchas peleas mías, guerras que he dado, han visto que me han derribado y me han levantado y piensan que estoy acabado, pero no. Hoy les demostré que hay Orlando Salido para rato.
You know, there's a lot of talk before the fight that I was done. Social media, you know, that I've been following, in the ring a lot. But, you know, I proved tonight that I'm still a warrior, that I can still fight, I can still beat the best.
Orlando, es preocupante ver que los jueces hoy en día son los que quieren ser los protagonistas de los combates. Toda tu preparación, todo lo que hiciste para poder conquistar el título, pues se viene abajo con una decisión de un juez. ¿Qué opinión te merece que unos jueces primero en la OMB te den un empate cuando le pegaste una paliza a Rocky Martínez y ahora, como dices tú, por muy poco margen, pero le ganaste a Salido Vargas? ¿Qué te merece la opinión de los jueces?
What do you think about the judges tonight? Obviously, you didn't get the best of them in Las Vegas. Now again, what's your opinion of the judging tonight?
No, pues ellos hicieron su trabajo, ¿no? Ellos, según ellos es lo que vieron un empate y ni modo. Como dicen ahí, alégale al umpire, ¿qué vamos a hacer, no? Ellos son los que toman la decisión, ellos son los rectores aquí dentro del box, dentro de esta pelea, y ni modo, hay que aguantar.
You know, you have to take it. I mean, you know, there's the judges, there's the ones that are going to judge the scorecards, there's the one that count. You can't argue with an umpire, you can't argue with the scorecards, you just have to take it.
Salido, cuando escuchaste la primera tarjeta 115 a 113 para Vargas, ¿qué pasó por tu mente cuando escuchaste eso?
Pues en verdad estaba tan entrado en la pelea que no la escuché. Nunca vi que hubiera una tarjeta esa. Si lo hubiera oído, pues hubiera tratado de apretar un poco más. Pero nunca me me emocionó tampoco eso.
What did you think when you heard the scorecard 115, 113? You know, on Vargas' favor. You know, I thought it was a close fight, but I didn't think you beat me.
Times when he was surprised Vargas didn't go down with some of the shots he hit.
Sentiste los golpes de él en el round ese donde casi caías y tú sentiste que él lo lastimabas a él pero tampoco caía.
Sí, fueron golpes duros de él y de parte mía. Estuvimos ahí echándonos golpes en varios rounds, al tú por tú. Golpes me lastimaba, yo también lo lastimaba. Era una pelea dura, una pelea de tú a tú y pues en cualquier momento nos podemos lastimar cualquiera de los dos.
Without a doubt, I think both of us hurt each other, and you know, we're going toe to toe. I'm feeling his punches, I'm sure he's feeling mine, but that's what we expected. That's what the fight was going to be, and we were just trying to land the best shots possible.
¿Buscarás una revancha con Vargas, Martínez, o se está hablando que una con Lomachenko?
You have a lot of rematches out there you can do. You can do a rematch with Vargas, you can do one with Martinez, Lomachenko. What do you think?
No sé lo que venga para mí, pero estamos abiertos a cualquier propuesta que abran. Ustedes ya me conocen, me subo a pelear, a espectáculos, no andar bailando en el ring, y es lo que le gusta ver a la gente.
You know me, I'll fight anybody, whoever they offer me, whatever the options are out there, I'll take. You know, you see me, I fight, I don't dance around. I come to fight, and that's what I want to do, no matter who the opponent's going to be.
Salido, tú eres un boxeador que has peleado con los mejores, has tenido victorias, derrotas, muchas buenas peleas. ¿Qué es lo que te motiva para seguir peleando y peleando en este nivel tan alto como peleas?
You fought a lot of the best boxers in the world. You fought some great fights. What motivates you at this point in time in your career to keep fighting?
Pues me motivo porque todavía estoy en un gran nivel, estoy peleando con los mejores. Si ya estuviera peleando en los ranchos, pues ya me hubiera retirado, ¿no? Todavía estoy con los grandes, estoy con los buenos y aquí voy a seguir hasta lo que dure, porque el boxeo no es para siempre.
You know, I'm still here. I'm still fighting the elite level. That's the elite level fighters. I'm motivated. You know, I'm just not fighting anywhere in any little place out there. I'm fighting the top level fighters and a top level venue. So I'm still here. You're good?
Any more questions? He's, Orlando's hungry. So no, let's give him another round of applause, guys. Yeah. Great champion. Was and you know, there's a lot of excitement for the fight, and you know, people came out. They came out. They bought tickets, and you know, we just want to thank the fans. It was great. It was just shy of a sellout. Just shy of a sellout. Okay. And Vargas is coming.
Somebody sold up, so every
Vargas should be here in about 10 minutes. They're just finishing up. And, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was with them in the back, and the cuts were huge. I mean, big cuts. He's out. He's suspended for 60 days through the California Commission. But I think he needs a longer rest than that. Obviously, he's going to need a longer rest than that. Both guys do. Both guys do. But, you know, again, I'll say it again. Tonight was a special night of boxing. When we first made the fight, the response was incredible. And both fighters, they proved it. They proved it. So.
Eric, 73-78?
Yeah, 73.
It was 73-78.
73-78 was the attendance.
How'd you have it?
How did I have the fight? You know what? I actually had it a draw. I felt that Vargas needed to win one of the last two rounds, and he did it. I gave both rounds to Salido, and that's what gave it the draw. You know, I think if Vargas would have pulled off one of the last two rounds, but I mean, there's like 3 rounds in this fight that could be rounds of, I mean, incredible rounds. Back and forth, these guys weren't tired, they just kept throwing at each other. I mean, it was as a promoter and matchmaker, sometimes you get freaked out. And I think a lot of us, maybe all of us in this room got a little freaked out during parts of the fight.
How do you compare it to some of the, like Vasquez, Marquez, those types of?
I mean, we've been involved in some very, it's up there. It's up there. I mean, you know, the only thing it lacked was maybe knockdowns. But I mean, these guys, they just stood there and they gave it their all.
Eric, on a personal level, did this fight meet or exceed your expectations?
Oh, you know what? It exceeded my expectations. I knew it was going to be a good fight. Some of the things Vargas was working on was boxing. So if you notice, you know, in some of those middle rounds, he boxed a little bit and he controlled the fight pretty easily with his jab. And I asked him after the fight, I was walking to the locker room, went to the locker with him, and I said, you know, I was telling him, I said, when you use that jab, it was beautiful. You controlled him, he couldn't get to you, you were catching him from the outside, you hurt him. Why did you decide to go back toe to toe? And he just said, Viva Mexico. So, I mean, that goes to show what his mentality is.
Eric, I know everybody's keep asking about the rematch. Putting aside the belt of Vargas, do you think it's a possibility for one of the best trilogies of the time?
Oh my God! I mean, look, when it's hard to answer that question because As a boxing fan, yes. As a boxing fan, yeah, you want to see a trilogy. You want to see these guys do it again. But as a promoter, it's like, you know, a boxer's, you know, his window of opportunity is so limited, so small. And you don't want, I mean, Vargas can be a great fighter. I was telling Oscar, I was sitting down watching the fight, and I told Oscar, we have Salvador Sanchez. That's the way he fought. You know, a lot of you maybe don't know. I mean, some of the older guys here, you know, some of you guys saw his fights. But Francisco Vargas is a modern-day Salvador Sanchez. And that's the way Salvador fought. He had a hell of a chin, and he just kept throwing punches. He didn't get tired. And Vargas is very similar to Salvador Sanchez. And, you know, it's just, you know, that ability of, I mean, he's a thin guy, and most of the times in boxing, thin guys, they don't take punches that well. But this guy takes punches well. It's incredible. You know, I mean, even in the Mura fight last year, I mean, Mura dropped him, heard him, dropped him, and he got up and he came back and knocked him out.
Came back stronger.
He came back stronger, and it's like he comes back stronger every time. So, as a promoter, you want to prolong his career. You want to get him a couple of easy fights in between. But as a boxing fan, of course, I want to make that fight 10 times. You know. But realistically, I mean, you don't want the same thing to happen as some of the other fighters. You know, it's that they finish each other off. Carlita, how much more time? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, but you know, I mean, that's what comes to mind when I see Vargas fight. He's a Salvador Sanchez, and I was too young to watch his fights live, but I've seen tapes of him, and I've watched them, and it's very similar. You know, a guy that just kept working and working and took a good punch and kept coming.
Hey Eric, this arena, it seems like there's always great fights, and the people, they just respond. When you were saying that Vargas, he should have boxed more, do you think just, you know, hearing all the fans, I mean, it just feels...
I think so. I think it motivates him. You know, I think it motivates him. You know, I think he gets motivated by the fans. I think that, you know, they know what they want to see. And yeah, you're right. It's funny. I mean, this arena is just like, it's how many Fight of the Years does it have now? Or potential Fight of the Years? I mean, you know, it's got to be a record. It's got to be a record for an arena. I mean, I don't know. You know, Madison Square Garden in the heyday. I mean, I heard they had some incredible fights there, so it's hard to tell.
You got two Vargas, two Vasquez Marquez fights.
Two Vasquez Marquez. Yeah.
Real
Tonight's fight. Bradley Provodnikov.
Molina versus Matiz.
Yeah, Molina Matiz.
Kamagai and Guerrero.
Kamagai Guerrero. Yeah.
Berto and
No, that was recent.
Guerrero.
Alvarado fought here against Rios. Yeah. So I mean, this place, it's incredible. There's something about this place, but it's going down in history as one of the best venues for boxing. And I mean, you know, every seat is good. It's lively. It's outdoors. You know, time of the year is just right. But yeah, you know, it's had some great fights here. Some great fights. Positive. But it's consistent with what's coming out of Mexico. And I knew exactly what he was talking about because it's happened to us before. It happened to us with Eric Morales. That's the fight.
Back in 2012, correct?
It was when he fought Danny Garcia. But Andy was great, and he said, Eric, look, I don't think you're in danger of losing the fight, but we're just going to test Vargas. And Vargas went through an incredible regimen of tests. You know, he must have done, in a little less than a month, he did something like 16 or 17 tests.
I spoke to Andy last week.
Yeah.
He told me that Vargas is now the most tested fighter in California Athletic State Commission history.
Did you guys hear that? Vargas is officially the most tested fighter in the history of California State Athletic Commission. So, I mean, yeah, and he said that. He said, look, we're going to test him. We're going to test him. And that's how he's going to keep the fight. But, I mean, can you imagine what Vargas had to endure? All those tests. And they're taking blood. And it's not just like they take a little, you know, tube of blood. You know, they take like 4 or 5 little tubes of blood. And they do urine and blood. And he did that, you know, 16, 17 times. you know, in a matter of like 3.5 weeks. So that's, I mean, that's incredible.
Were they pop tests? Did he know they were coming?
No,
Did they
no, no,
come
no,
in?
no, no, it's their surprise test. They just show up, you know, they're random. So they just show up and, you know, you have to give them your whereabouts, your phone number, and they just show up. And they come and they show up and they just take their blood and, you know, the urine.
Eric?
Yeah.
You probably may have already been asked this, but I was talking to a few people press side, and like, this would be the perfect rematch to have on September 15th, that card that you're not having.
I think we'll get arrested. I think we'll get arrested if we do it that soon. I mean, just give these guys what, they would have to rest, what, a month maybe, and then go back to training? Yeah, no, it's I would love to do it, but no, it's too soon. It's too soon. I mean, these guys need a long break. They need a long break. I just, yeah. I like horror movies, but
Do you think these guys now main event again on their own thing? Or
oh, of course. I mean, I was talking to HBO. I was talking to Peter Nelson, and you know, he's excited. He was excited, and he said, "Look, you know, we'll talk. We can do whatever. You know, just like Salido has all these rematches he can make, Vargas has now a couple of rematches he can make, and there's also a possible Gamboa fight, which can happen. You know, so there's some good fights out there for these guys, and it's a hot division. It's becoming a hot division with Lomachenko out there, and then you have Martinez, who's always in very good fights. Miro was just here. He's a exciting fighter. There's some very, very good fighters at this weight division. So I think that, you know, you can do a nice little round robin with all these guys and get some real good fights. Yeah. As I was watching the fight, I was thinking to myself, you know, can you imagine Salido against Mira? I mean, both those guys are just the hard-throwing guys. I mean, that would be an exciting fight. But you can mix and match, and there's so many different combinations of fights you can make. Yeah. So okay. So we have WBC Super Featherweight World Champion Francisco Vargas.
Try to keep it short.
All right, so I'll have him say a few words. His manager, Ralph, you'll translate, Ralph? You'll translate for him? Or you want me to do it?
You could do it.
Okay, okay. Unas cuantas palabras de la pelea, como siempre.
¿Qué tal? Buenas noches.
Good
Bueno,
evening to everyone.
pues estoy muy contento. Creo que fue una gran pelea, lo que habíamos prometido.
I'm very happy. I think it was a great fight, what we promised.
Salido es un gran peleador
Salido's a great fighter.
y pues el resultado del enfrentamiento de él y yo pues fue una guerra como se esperaba, ¿no?
And the result was a war, like we expected.
Y pues espero que esta pelea igual sea candidata del año
And I hope this fight is considered to be a fight of the year.
y pues que haya quedado en el gusto de toda la afición.
And I hope all of you guys enjoyed it. Okay. All right, so let's open up for questions. This guy's hungry, so we want to make it, it's kind of late already. So questions, guys? Preguntas?
Esta ha sido una de tus peleas más difíciles, ya que vienes de otra guerra entre Miura.
Pues sí, fue una pelea dura. Venía de pelear con Miura, que fue una guerra, está igual. Nada más, pues fue una pelea de intercambio, ¿no? Como lo habíamos dicho, sabemos el estilo de Salido, el mío. Nada más hubo ahí un poco de algunos cabezazos, ¿no? Pero pues parte de la pelea.
The question was, you just came off a very tough fight with Mira, and now you fought this fight. Was this fight tougher? And he said it was a tough fight. It was a tough fight. It was what we expected. It was going to be a war, and we got exactly what we expected. We knew it was going to be a tough fight. The only thing I can say is, there's a few headbutts there that caused some problems, but other than that, it was a tough fight.
Eric, it was maybe the fifth round. It was like you threw everything at him. And at the end of the round, you touched his glove. Did you touch his glove out of like God damn, I gave him everything he didn't go
Lo
down.
tiraste todo y luego topaste el güey.
En el quinto round te sentiste como que diste todo de ti, pero al final tocaste sus guantes como diciendo, te di todo lo que traigo y no te tumbo.
Bueno, creo que fue un buen round, lo conecté y pues estábamos en la pelea, entonces simplemente choqué su guante porque pues, estábamos haciendo una buena pelea.
He said, no, yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good round, you know. We had some good exchanges there, and I just, you know, I tapped his gloves because it was just such a good fight. Dan?
Francisco, in your fight against Miura, you had a very badly swollen eye and one busted up a bit. Tonight, obviously, you had two terrible cuts over your eyes and your face is busted up again. Are you concerned that that's going to just be the way it's going to be when you fight now? That you're going to...
Te abrieron aquí unas cortadas, obviamente, en los dos lados, pero también en la pelea de Miura. ¿Te preocupa eso? ¿Crees que es lo que va a recurrir en tus peleas?
Bueno, pues creo que en esta pelea me afectó un poco, ¿no? Es igual, las cortadas han sido por cabezazos, son cosas que pasan en las peleas y sí es un poco de desventaja.
Yeah, it's you know, it's something that happens in the fights, and their head clashes, you know, but it's a disadvantage, you know, it's a disadvantage when that happens, but they're caused because of headbutts.
How many stitches do you require?
No, he don't know. He didn't ask. He didn't ask.
The sergeant's right there. How many stitches?
15 to 20 each side.
15 to 20 each side.
Okay, Francisco.
Francisco, ya que pues después de 2 asaltos, después de ya pues tener tiempo de pensar lo que ocurrió, ¿harías algo diferente o estás satisfecho con lo que hiciste en el cuadrilátero?
Bueno, pues por ahora tengo que estar satisfecho, no puedo regresar al pasado, pero pues creo que aprendí de esta pelea y si se llega a dar otra, pues voy a tener ya, o sea, ya lo voy a conocer, voy a saber más como qué hace, qué no hace.
The question was, you know, after this, you know, grueling fight, you know, what did you learn? Would you have done anything different? And he said, well, you know, I don't like to go, I can't go back anymore. You know, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, obviously, I mean, you learn from it, and I'll think differently next time.
¿Piensas que mereces un descanso?
No, yo creo que sí.
Yeah. He asked him, he said, do you think you deserve a rest? And he said, of course I do. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say, coming into the last parts of the fight, did you feel he was ahead? And if you did, why did you feel he was ahead?
Bueno, yo sabía que la pelea estaba muy pareja, pero sabía que 2 o 3 veces lo había puesto mal y creo que eso me favorecía a mí.
I know it was a close fight. I know it was a close fight going into, you know, the latter part of the fight, but I also know that I hurt him a few times, like 2 or 3 times I hurt him. So I felt that I was maybe ahead.
Cuando el árbitro Raúl Caíz detuvo las acciones, ¿fue por un piquete de ojo o cabezazo?
Fue un cabezazo.
When Raúl Caiz took you to the corner to check you out, was it because of a headbutt? Well, when he stopped the action, was it because of a headbutt? He said yes, it was because of a headbutt. Back there.
Francisco, cada vez que le dabas con todo parecía que lo ibas a tumbar y de la nada revivía con más fuerza. ¿Qué estaba pasando por tu mente cuando pensabas que ya no tenías y revivía más fuerte? ¿Qué pasaba por tu cabeza?
Bueno, pues yo lo conectaba y veía que lo ponían mal y de repente regresaba, pues me sorprendía y trataba de tener la calma y volver a conectarlo.
The question was, you know, there's a few times where you're going at him, you're giving him your all, and it looked like you hurt him and you were going to drop him. And all of a sudden he just kept coming back. What went through your mind? And he said, yeah, you know, it surprised me. It surprised me. I gave him my best shots, and then he would come back very strong, so I just try to be calm and try to catch him again. Try to catch him with some good shots again. Okay?
Francisco, tú tuviste unos asaltos donde boxeaste y estabas ganando boxeando, pero por la mayor parte fue una guerra. ¿Fue este tipo de pelea por la presión que le estaba poniendo o simplemente te gusta pelear de esta manera?
Bueno, pues es que pues así es mi estilo, es difícil que cambie mi estilo. Trataba de trabajar algunos rounds, pero pues no era lo mío.
The question was, obviously it was a tough fight. It was a tough fight. Was it a tough fight because of his style or because you wanted to make it a tough fight? And Francisco said, well, I try to work. I try to box a little bit, during the fight, but that's just not me. It's not me, and I just decided to go to war and take it to him. Okay, just a couple more questions. Go ahead.
Is he okay
¿Estás
with the
bien?
draw? Or
Con
does it
el
bother
empate.
him?
O te pregunto.
Pues yo respeto lo que digan los jueces, ¿no? A final de cuentas, lo que me importa fue haber dado una gran pelea que le haya gustado a los aficionados.
I respect what the judges say. I respect what they say. What matters most is that you guys like to fight and you guys enjoy it. That's what matters to me.
Francisco, el público, vaya, recibió más de lo que estaba esperando. Dos guerreros mexicanos que entregaron el alma arriba del ring. ¿Qué sigue para Francisco Vargas? Una posible revancha contra Orlando Salido. Vimos por ahí a Takashi Miura. Tienes muchas opciones ahí afuera. ¿Qué sigue para Francisco?
Bueno, pues en primera un descanso, ¿no?
Merecido, muy merecido.
Han sido peleas muy duras, hemos trabajado muy duro en los entrenamientos y pues después vamos a platicar con mi manejador, con la empresa y vamos a ver, hay muchos buenos peleadores, hay muy buenas opciones y vamos a ver qué es lo mejor para nosotros.
Okay, so the question was, it was a war. It was a war. What's next for you? What do you want to do next? Do you want a rematch? What do you want to do next? Or what are you thinking of? And he said rest. Right now, obviously, rest is what I want next. But look, I'm gonna get together with my team, with my managers here, with Golden Boy, and we'll see. I mean, there's some good options out there. Some other really good fighters. So we'll see. Just one more question, guys. One more question. One more question.
Fight fans and fight critics expected this fight to be fight of the year, but did you expect it to be so grueling and so tough?
Pues yo sabía que iba a ser una pelea dura, ¿no? Conocíamos a Salido, es un peleador que no se raja, ¿no? Igual que nosotros, y pues era lo que iba a pasar, una gran pelea.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a good fight. We knew it. We knew it was going to be a tough fight, a good fight. And look, I know Salido, and he won't back down, and neither do we.
Thank you. Gracias.
Just curious, this is just the